What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Vanguard Project. My name is Austin Jardine, and I am super excited for today's episode with Mr. Hunter Constantine. He is one of my favorite people. This is a lot of fun, or this episode is a lot of fun. I was just finished editing it, listening to it, and you know what? It's a hoot, and I am super jealous of the mad, fun, crazy lifestyle that Hunter lives out on the road, shooting, overlanding, teaching, all of the fun stuff. And for those of you maybe new to the show, this episode is actually a little bit different than the rest of them. This one is honestly just a lot more fun, where we are kind of just BSing, getting to know what he's been up to, kind of sharing in some of the excitement, hopefully getting you all motivated or interested in something new. So a little bit different, like I said, a little bit faster paced, more fun. But if you tune into any other episode, we're really out here just trying to share stories, build a community, and give you something to chew on or maybe get excited about. But with all of that being said, please subscribe, follow the show, follow me on the Instagrams, follow Hunter and Fieldcraft and 2 Track Nation on the Instagrams and YouTubes as well. But you know what? Today's episode is brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee. I am a gigantic Black Rifle fan. Over the past, I don't even know how long, I have slowly become a bit of a coffee snob. Like, I've been spending some time with my parents, and their coffee is terrible. And I have told them that, so if they do listen to this, they know that I'm not a big fan. But Black Rifle Coffee, however, is phenomenal. I'm a big fan of the Power Llama, the Llama Mama coffee, and it is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to the mothers. So the Power Llama Mama, that is where it's at. So go get yourself some coffee. Use code Vanguard, get 20% off, which is nuts. Use code Vanguard on Black Rifle's website. Make sure tag them on whatever post you're doing when you're getting your coffee in the mail. But I'm going to stop talking. I'm super excited. I'm going to go to the gym here in a few minutes. But I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will catch you next time. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Vanguard Project. My name is Austin Jardine. With me is Mr. Hunter Constantine for round 2.5, I think. We tried to record. You were driving back from, I think, the Gundies.
Two.
Or you were at the
driving
Gundies. Driving two. Yeah, you were killing hogs the last time I talked to you.
Okay. Yep.
I was super jealous of. So it's been a couple weeks. You've been super busy. I've been watching you traveling all over Hell's Half Acre, doing all the fun stuff. So we're going to chat again. And I know you've got some fun things to say. So what have you been up to this fine new year, Mr. Hunter?
A lot of good things. Thank you for having me, Austin, for the 2.5 time. Hopefully this Wi-Fi connection is better than the cellular on I-10, and we can get through this in one good sweep. But
Heck yeah.
We've been staying busy. This past weekend was the first weekend I wasn't on the road the entire year.
Did you sleep all weekend long?
No, I actually I taught fieldcraft classes, so I was in Arizona, just not out of state. But so still doing stuff, still staying busy. Every weekend's busy. But I prefer it. There's a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of good people around the country to meet and shoot with, and new friends to be made, just like us.
Right? Always.
But it's been a good mixture of just events and training and matches. I'm trying to find a balance between that where I'm not necessarily overwhelming myself and having a one-day turnaround to go to the next state.
Yeah.
So it's very fun, but definitely requires some balancing and excellent time management skills.
I can imagine. Do you live and die by a Palm Pilot where you're tapping in, be I need to be here on this day?
I am probably going to give all of my employers and sponsors an aneurysm right now.
Really?
I don't write anything down.
Oh my God, you would drive me nuts. If it is not on my calendar, it's not happening.
I could tell you my weekends all the way out through June right now.
Yeah.
But it's it's the mental fortitude of preparing your brain.
Oh yeah, totally. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, it's getting so busy though that I think it's about time to start using some sort of planning app or something like that, because now it's multifaceted with everything that is going on right now, and Chase and I are going super heavy on content production, so we got to build that in to our timeline. But we got some really cool stuff going on with 2-Track Nation. We got some new companies on board that are pretty sizable, and some unique content that we'll be producing later this year.
That's sweet, man. I know I've been every now and then I'll send like you and Chase something random, like off-roady. Like I think I sent you and him like two like Tacomas humping each other, and I was like, I immediately thought of these guys. So it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But dude, so I know the last time we were talking, before kind of the internet connection went to shit, we were talking about your time shooting tanks, driving tanks, killing hogs. And tracksuits. I mean, like, how does all of that? Yeah, how does all of that play into like you and your persona?
Absolutely. So you're talking to one of the founders of the Tracksuit Mafia.
Lord.
Tracksuit Mafia. There's about I would say 5 or 6 main members, and a few honorary ones, and maybe more to come. But this is all through Dillon Precision, which is one of the leading reloading companies based out of Arizona, but they supply people with reloading components all over the world. And this started from a match in Red October last year, which is an AK-47 variant match. You need some sort of AK or close to an AK to shoot it. And we're like, hey, like, what's, Russian tracksuit, what do we got? And then we found this blue tracksuit from Adidas that is almost identical to the branding colors of Dillon Precision. And then I was like, I got to get a white ski mask. I've got a friend that prints here in town. Boom, the tracksuit was born. Go to Red October. And anybody who, it's a very fun match, a lot of cool vendors, great match directors there. But it's definitely more of a match to have fun at rather than to take seriously. And so, like, I know the guys from Lee Armory were there with a bunch of full autos and like gold AKs and stuff. But it is it captured the ethos of that match of like, hey, let's play dress up in the desert and shoot a bunch of AKs. So then we're like, we gotta bring this to another event. So the Gundies is like an award event thing for influencers. I don't know the correct verbiage to describe it, but there's a bunch of vendors there, a bunch of influencers. It was in Uvalde, Texas at Drive Tanks Ranch. I think it's like it's huge ranch. There's like an airstrip there. There's giraffes, kangaroos, rhinos.
Rhinos?
There's rhinos. I got to touch 2 rhinos. And if you guys talk to Holden from Dillon Precision, he can explain how intimate you can get with those rhinos. But I will leave that for them. And we won't change the rating on this podcast till later on.
You know what? It's already R-rated. So you know what? We're there.
Just ask Holden about his brush, okay, and we'll leave it at that.
All right.
But it's pretty cool, very unique experience. And we rolled deep. We had 6 guys in tracksuits, white ski masks, and we brought a table full of machine guns. We had we had a full auto Glock, we had a full auto Vector. The Vectors are somewhat rare to find in full auto right now.
Yeah.
And we had a great company convert one. George had that thing dialed, MP5 SD. We had an MCX with this nasty Surefire brake on it that was just causing a ruckus. And then Christian Saylor and I were there dueling people if they wanted to come shoot against us. But it seemed like the machine guns were kind of stealing the show, and so be it. Coolest part about it, though, is we brought an 1100 9mm press. It's a 10-stage progressive press to our booth. So all of the ammo that was shot out of the guns were reloaded right there on spot in the booth for the event.
That's sweet.
And as a reloader as well, I'm sure you know that there's not. We're a very small community. There's not a lot of reloaders out there, and going into like the tactical world and it's kind of more of the casual shooter. I think they're afraid or turned off by it, or it seems like this daunting task. But it's very simple. If I can do it, I think anybody could do it.
Yeah.
If you could do it, same thing, and we want to just educate like the general masses about reloading, and being at an event like that really helped hone it in and just show people like, hey, after you get it initially set up and they have educational videos to do so, all you really need to do is load your components up, pull this lever, and keep an eye on those rounds going around the press. And that 1100 can do give or take 1,000 rounds in an hour.
That's nuts.
So you can get cooking on it pretty good. They have some things planned for the future to make those presses even more autonomous. But it's great, and I think it's a branch of being prepared that you should look into, because if ammo dries up and the store shelves are bare, and you don't have ammo, what are you going to do? Rely on your buddies or whatever? So to me, I mean, I do it for competition shooting. I have all my ammo tuned to my firearms that I'm shooting, which definitely helps and gives me a competitive advantage. But in the back of my head, I also have, enough components to load X amount of rounds in 223 and 9mm, and you can customize it too. Or if you want a bullet that packs a little bit more punch, you can load them hot. If you want less recoil, you can load them soft, or like for the 300 blackout or suppressed 9mm. You can load some super slow, pretty sluggish, very, very quiet.
Yeah.
And then we messed around and we wanted to see the slowest 147 9mm that we could load and still cycle in my Glock. It's a Glock 34. I think we put like I want to say like a 9-pound spring in it, like a 2011 spring, which is like, I mean, that is significantly lower than the factory weight. And we've got them down to 795.
Oh my
which
gosh.
is like
super
45 territory. And hands down, that's the quietest center fire that I've shot, other than a bolt action 300 blackout.
Yeah.
But it's just it's a rad experience, especially taking new shooters out with suppressed guns. So it's about as close to that Hollywood suppressor as I could get. So it's cool. It's a cool experience, and you can definitely expect some more tracksuits coming to events near you.
Yeah.
That blue is just so noticeable anywhere where we're at. It just sticks out like a highlighter.
Yeah, it's funny. Every time I see pictures with tracksuits now, it's like I think of you guys, and I'm like, oh god, like it's like debauchery is like the word that comes to mind, and fun. When you're at the Gundies, like I know a lot of people that don't reload, right? Because it is kind of intimidating until you do it. How many folks out there were you like kind of rubbing shoulders with that didn't reload, that were like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was this easy?
Like all of them,
really.
Besides the boys from TTI, like Zach and JR and then Marco, nobody else mentioned that they reloaded.
Really?
So like that's what we were looking at. And Holden was on the press the entire time for like 3 hours. He's just cranking away on it. And people were just enamored that it's literally just you're filling components and just pulling on that handle and you're pumping out fresh rounds. So ideally, like I'd like to see more people reloading, just because it gives you that freedom of being able to shoot when you want. It reduced the cost. A lot of people look at it as like, oh, I don't shoot enough to reload. But as we saw in the last couple of years, prices have skyrocketed in ammo. Luckily they've come down from like the election year and stuff like that. But I mean, I remember when I was paying under 20 cents for brass case 9, and that was regular. Right. And deals were like 160, and now if you can find it for around 30 cents, that's a deal. It's doubled. But like I bought bulk components 3 or 4 years ago. So I'm still loading for extremely cheap. But buying the new components right now, they've definitely come up in cost, but it's still cheaper than buying factory. Yeah.
It's funny when you I feel like when you start to reload, you shoot more, right? Because like you have the sense of like, okay, I have this obligation to shoot now because I reloaded it, but now it's cheaper, Yeah. So you want to go out more, right? Like, I don't
absolutely know. And honestly, you should too. It's a perishable skill. And like training is just so important. Or I should say practicing, because there's a big difference between shooting and practicing. Shooting, I just recently got an SOT with my buddies here in Phoenix. So now we have machine guns and stuff. And that is probably some of the most fun, is literally just going out into the desert and shooting rocks with machine guns. It is like and just like we've got this good place. It's got a big old back berm, so we don't need to worry about rounds like flying off and everything. But We literally go. We don't even sell targets. We just fucking mag dump and have fun and bring out belt feds and M16s, whatever. You name it. One of us in our group probably has something like it. So it's a lot of fun. But that is just shooting or just like going to the range and running. I don't know, not even running drills, but just like bullshit. Just putting up whatever target, shooting whatever, no timer. But practicing is important, where you're focusing back on your fundamentals. You have a goal of what you're trying to achieve when you're out there, and just honing in on that for that period of time and staying focused and training with a purpose or shooting with a purpose. Otherwise, you're not going to see your skill improve at all. And if your skill improves, I think you have a better experience shooting.
Yeah.
Especially if you're shooting matches, because I typically don't set up anything close to matches or stages when I'm practicing. It's literally, I mainly just practice on one target. So then when I go to matches, I'm having like all the fun in the world because I torture myself with like the most boring, mundane, monotonous practice. So when I get to a match or even training with Fieldcraft or something, or did privates, whatever it is, I'm like opened up to like the whole range now. Wow, so much fun.
Pedal to the metal, going for it. Blue tracksuit all the way.
It's just a balance more than anything, because like I think at a certain point during my season last year, I got pretty burnt out of like dry firing every day, like very regimented practice. And like I was starting to get somewhat disinterested in shooting to an extent because I was practicing so hard.
Yeah.
That it is very refreshing to load up a mag, D60, drum mag, belt, whatever, and just dumping it into nothing. Or just making silly videos out there as well. That's the content people really want. I could post a stage and I'll get like, minimal likes on it, and then I'll post a video of me yelling "drop the drugs" with a BAR, and I'll do a couple thousand,
Yeah,
whatever it is. But it's a good balance to have. But tracksuits are fun. It just kind of emphasizes that good time that we were having there, and just having fun, and it's important to have that fun. And if you're not having fun, you should probably do something else,
right?
And if you're salty about the tracksuits, I think you're just jealous.
Yeah, right. I can imagine some saltiness with the tracksuits, but like I think it's funny because they are like the highlighter color out there. It's hard to miss.
Everybody's in tan and black.
Yeah, right. And it's funny too because like you guys actually shoot. Like I don't feel like there's like this, and I hate this word, but like the goon thing about tracksuits.
Yeah.
Like it drives, like I don't like that word, but it's funny because like you guys, it's like, yeah, okay, great. You'll go like ham it out and like go through 2,000 rounds on a fucking rock out in the middle of the desert, but then you'll go like lay hate on a stage and like smoke it, So it's funny to me because it's like ironic in a way,
We can back it up. We can back up the tracksuits.
Exactly.
I when they had it, it was in Chino Valley, California, at PRG. They had a Valentine's Day match, IDPA match. Okay, yeah. I'd drive out there. I'd wear a Shinesty heart suit. Okay, the whole thing, pants, jacket, hearts all over it. Fucking so obnoxious. And one of my buddies out there, let me try to remember the comment, said something along the lines of like, it's like it's a good thing you shoot well, otherwise you'd just be an asshole, or something like that. I was like, thank God that I do, man. And it was a fun match. But IDPA, for those who don't know, it's a little bit more serious than USPSA, I'd say. But I think there's more USPSA shooters dabbling into IDPA a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily if it's more fun. I like it as cross training, just to be a little bit more accuracy focused, but there's also a lot of serious older dudes in it. So like if you show up in a heart suit, they get all disgruntled. And that's also somewhat fun just to mix it up, especially if you get a podium finish or finish high overall in the match. So it's always good just to mix it up a little bit and have a little fun like that.
Throw a bit of a monkey wrench in their plans.
Yeah. And that's like, for those of you listening who don't know, that's like the fishing vest competition guys, where they got their pleated tactical pants and a fishing vest on. And a hat from like 82 and probably shoot a 1911. Nothing against 1911s. I like them. I actually want a 9mm 1911. That's on my list right now. But it's it's good old fun. So we just, with those tracksuits, just want to promote that you can have fun and still shoot well and do things, and try to get people a little bit more hyped on reloading, because it's firearm freedom for feeding those guns. And it also just allows you to do cool things like make your custom precision loads for long range shooting that are way more accurate than factory stuff. My minimum power factor stuff, so I have less felt recoil while I'm shooting pistol. Super subsonic stuff. The list goes on. Defensive rounds, hunting rounds, you name it. There's probably low data out for it, and you can educate yourself on it. So shameless plug for Dylan Precision.
Yeah,
we're the Tracksuit Mafia. We're going to be at events. Keep an eye out for us.
Do it. Yeah, check it out. I was at one of the gun shops in town as I was kind of cruising around town looking for ammo, and I saw they had a full Dylan setup. I didn't go like get all handsy with it, but I was like I should go look, because I could definitely take a look at Dylan's website. I don't know. I don't remember last time I was on Dylan's website. Do they have single stage presses that you know of?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I know they're, like, my buddy reloads precision stuff on a Square B, which is a 4-stage one that's manually put the brass on, manually put the bullet in. That's as far as I know. I don't reload a lot of precision stuff.
Yeah, because the difference is, like, from your world to mine is, like, you can be within it like a grain or two, right? And it still be pretty damn accurate for what you're working for. Whereas, like, when I reload in terms of like powder charge, like I'm trying to get within 0.01 grains. Like that's my goal. So I'll sit there
to say like a tenth, not a full grain.
Tenth. Okay. A tenth. Yeah. So like I seriously, I'll sit there with like needle nose tweezers and pull out individual
grain by grain.
Yeah. It takes, I mean, for me to reload, and like, and I do it by hand. Like I have a little, like, like a little meth scale basically, and like
I do as well.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But
listen, guys, if you're at your friend's house who's a shooter and they have a meth scale, just know they're deep into shooting. They're not doing drugs.
Okay? Right. It's safe. But fun stuff, tracksuits. I know that you'd mentioned you want to talk about the PCSL, which, if I remember right, that's the 2-gun stuff you've been doing, right?
Oh yeah. It's a practical competition shooting league.
Okay.
And it is designed specifically for shooters, not necessarily competitors.
Yeah.
So it is very friendly to new shooters. It's friendly to all walks of shooters. It's a 2-gun match. They're mainly in Utah. They're slowly expanding. I think there's going to be a match in California coming up here soon, and there might be one in Arizona in the future later this year.
Wink, wink.
We're whispering because I don't know if that's going to happen yet, but we want to. Anyways, it's pretty cool. Max Leogranda started it. It's hit factor scoring, which is basically like points per second. So your accuracy matters. A lot of 3-gun is just 2 anywhere on paper.
Yep.
And that discourages people to be accurate and accountable for their shot. So this is hit factor. They have their own targets. It's similar to an IPSC target and a classic target. So they kind of combine the two, and it just provides a very unique shooting experience. And they simplified it to 2 divisions. USPSA has like 8, IDPA has like 7 or 8. 3-gun is all over the place because there's different ruling bodies, but there's just 2 divisions for this. Keeps it simple. There's competition, practical. Practical is no compensator, full weight BCGs, 30-round mags, no bipods.
Okay.
No limitations on optics. So you could run like an LPVO and offset dot. If you have a short AR, like an AR pistol, you can run a braced AR. You can run your suppressor. You can run flashlights, lasers, anything you want. And then obviously competition is anything goes, drum mags, bags, bipods, whatever, big old compensators. So it just simplifies things. So you can bring whatever gear that you have, as long as you can have a couple mags on your belt and you have a retention holster for your pistol and a sling for your gun. You can come shoot the match. And the last 3 matches I've gone to, each time I've met a handful of shooters where this was their very first match they've ever been to, not even 2-gun or anything like that, but first match. And that's the whole goal of this league, is just to get new shooters to the match and shooting it. The one in Utah is very dynamic. It's Cobalt Kinetics private range, and that allows us to get very creative with the stages that you wouldn't normally see at a gun range. There's a few with cars, so like you're shooting in and out of like a plumbing van, like a moving van.
Yeah.
Somewhere you're like shooting through windows. Sorry, the windows are already shot out, but you're shooting through the cars to engage targets as barriers, using some of the functions of the cars to activate movers. And then they have 4 terrain stages that are shot through dried out riverbeds and cliff faces, which is extremely dynamic because it is something so different compared to what other ranges offer. So I remember there was one stage in the December match where like the best raw time on it, which is for those of you who don't know what raw time is, that's the amount of time it took you to get through the stage without any penalties or anything like that. It's just your bottom line time was like 45 seconds was like the top shooters on it.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah. Considering like a normal USPSA stage or IDPA stage might last like 6 to 12 seconds, give or take, maybe some pushing 20. 45 for the top shooter is a lot, and other people, 2 minutes or so of shooting where you have paper at point blank range with rifle all the way out to 60 yards. Steel is, I think the farthest is like 120 or 150 or something. And then like pistol, same deal, like point blank, probably out to like 30.
Yeah.
Give or take. And it just extremely dynamic. You can like, the match last month, Surefire hosted the After Dark PCSL Carbine Championship, and there's 2 divisions, white light and nods.
Yeah.
And so I shot nods, or I guess there's practical competition, white light, nods, etc. But won the nods category, and I got to shoot full stages, hit factor with rifle under night vision. And like I have never done that anywhere else. I've shot some steel matches like night vision pistol, doing it passively, but not laser. Long intricate stages, 30 rounds, 40 round, 50 round stages, and just hanging out with other like-minded individuals who also has full kit and nods, and we're just having a good time shooting a match. So very rare that you get the match pressure while you're shooting under nods, and it's a very, very unique experience. I'm telling everybody about it because it's the most fun I've had in competition shooting in a very long time.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy, and it's not I don't believe it's a PCSL match. I think that it's like the Parma gun range, like 2-gun match. But my buddy was telling me that they've got a 2-gun match at the end of April, and I was like, Gus, fucking sign me up. Like, I'm super excited. And it sounds like it's pretty similar, where it's like you can run whatever you want, but I don't know as far as like scoring and everything. I'm mostly just doing it because it's like familiarity of like gun and gear, and like it'll be one of those.
That's the best part. I mean, I shoot carbine pretty well, but I don't consider myself a carbine shooter still. I consider myself a pistol shooter. So like I shot with my 11.5 like tactical dual gun, I had a laser, light, can, all my tactical stuff on there.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome to get experience with it, because some places won't let you shoot with all that gear, or they'll bump you to open and say too bad. And now I'm at a disadvantage because I don't have a 3-port compensator that eliminates the recoil on my gun,
Yeah.
But it's fun to play with. Can't recommend it enough. And they're looking to expand out a little bit too. So hopefully we see it popping up a little bit more. I think this is the 2nd year of it, so it's fresh.
Yeah.
Super fresh, but great people running it. Great. It's just fun and great competition. So
do they have a website?
Probably. Actually, they do, but they probably need some. I should help them out with it for free, but it needs a little work.
Needs a little work,
but
yeah,
a little TLC. So yeah, but it's very fun. That's like the number, like the PCSL Nationals, Area 2, and the Alaskan Sectional are like the four matches I focus on for majors. Everything else is a bonus.
Okay. Everything else is just a ton of fun.
Yeah, I mean, those four specifically, well, like nationals, obviously, all the heats there. You can see how you're ranked nationally. Area 2, they have pretty unique stages. It's right here in Arizona. It's my area, so I feel obligated to shoot it. They also probably have the best prize table out of any major match in the country. I think last year they had like 12 guns per division to win. So the top 12 people in each division would get a gun. I walked away with 2 Hellcats last year for akimbo style. And then, PCSL, good old fun, 2-gun carbine experience, terrain stages, awesome. And then the Alaskan sectional. I got family up in Alaska, so I travel up there every summer and found out about this match. I've won the last 2 years high overall, so I have to go back to defend the title. I'll get we joke around here when we're at the matches where he's like, he's a 2-time Alaskan back-to-back championship. Like Dr. Disrespect, if you guys know the streamers, you know? Like, do you know who you're talking to over here? Mr. 2-time. But it's funny because just like in Alaska, I'd probably consider it a little bit of a softer win just because not a lot of heat goes up, but I think I've influenced about 12 people to go up there now.
Nice. So that's good.
Bringing more heat. I want more people to go there. I think Alaska is a great state, and I want people to spend more time up there.
It's beautiful too.
Jason, he's like the sponsored coordinator for it. I think it might be a little too short this year, but next year we were talking about trying to get like fishing, hunting, hiking, guide certificates for the prize table.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then for those types of prizes, do like a random drawing. So when you're making your travel plans, you either come early, stay late, and you can like really experience Alaska. It's like last year I stayed up there for a month.
Yeah.
And just granted, I was with family and stuff like that, but we were hiking, fishing, just doing all the Alaska stuff. And that's what really makes that place special more than anything is the environment that you're in and being able to see like one of the last frontiers that the United States has.
I feel like somebody literally just told me something was going on that weekend, and I'm not making
the Alaskan sectional.
Yeah, all right.
I just talked
to write down
during this podcast. Actually, this will be later. It's not relevant. Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah, right. Seriously, yeah, that happened, dude. That was so funny watching that. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
The world
he seemed upset. Some people say it's staged. I could give a shit about all that though.
I don't really care. I was like midnight.
I'm just here for
the
memes.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm here for the laughs. It's not like it affects my daily life, but it is. What it is.
I just got that HK93, so I've been doing that bolt slap.
Oh my god, dude! I saw that. I'm jealous. Is it super good?
Piece. Yeah. Very soft. I ran it in a carbine class I taught yesterday for a couple of the drills.
Yeah.
Just to give it a little love. I don't think that thing's been shot in probably 20 years or so.
Yeah.
And it's in mint condition. And honestly, I didn't even really know the rarity of those or anything like that. It was basically it was a gift from a family member.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in pretty rough shape when I got it, and I cleaned it up a little bit, and it's looking good. Just need a little TLC, and it's I looked up the serial numbers last night and stuff. It's a pre-ban 1982, all matching serial numbers, and it has a matching HK bayonet, which I've never seen before.
Okay,
but I looked it up, and I guess there's a thing. And the crazy part is they mount at 12 o'clock over the barrel.
Oh, really?
Rather than under the barrel. So
okay,
and it clicks into the what's that port called? The charging port, I guess. I don't know, but the charging handle's in that area. So like a little adapter goes in, put it in, you just throw a set screw in, and you got like a 12 o'clock bayonet on there. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I was thinking, I'm like, I should take that thing hog hunting. I could dead check pigs with the bayonet. And when you go hog hunting, you always dead check.
I've heard those fuckers are tough.
Yeah, and so like you want to be as humane as possible, and make sure that they're completely dead, they're not suffering or anything like that. But I don't think part of me is like you could use the bayonet because a lot of them are dead with your actual kill shot from your rifle. But I also just kind of feel mean about poking him.
Yeah,
I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, that place out in Oklahoma though, those guys they're awesome. It's called Tornado Valley Outfitters. It's pretty inexpensive, and they provide guns and ammo for you, and they take you around. It's like Oklahoma, just north of Dallas, wherever Oklahoma that is. I know Tulsa, and that's about it, and Oklahoma City. But other than that, I couldn't tell you any other towns or cities in Oklahoma.
I couldn't either. I don't know anything about Oklahoma.
Me neither. Other than it has that little strip, and they got tornadoes. But yeah, Tornado Valley Outfitters. We'd pull up on groups of like 30, 40, 50 pigs at a time.
Nice.
And in the summertime, they stack anywhere from like 80 to 120 pigs per night.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So
that's
like
a lot.
I'm going back out there in May, and I'm hoping to go out there one other time. And we're hoping to at least one time bring some like belted 240s or something. Because we're shooting off tripods, and like we could shoot off of we have a Land Rover with a turret mount on it.
Yeah.
So we're thinking just drive that thing out there.
Oh, there's easy ways. Dude, you could do you could do like 1-inch tubing with your standard clamps for your camper shell, and you'd be off the races.
Yeah, and I'm just like curious thing, a belt fed would definitely increase the kill rate, I guess, because they're
tracksuit too.
60s. You better believe the tracksuits are coming out there. You better believe it. But so it's I don't know. We'll see. But I do really enjoy that. I like hunting in general.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to go for another axis deer or something this year, probably whitetail. But I just got all my meat back like a month ago from my Thanksgiving hunt because our processor was so backed up.
Yeah.
But I got like a quarter of everything made into beef or venison sticks.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, that's a good idea. Like, yeah.
I always eat through them first, right?
Yep.
And I'm always on the road, and it's the perfect road trip snack.
It really is.
Jerky's crazy expensive.
Yep.
So I was like, you know what? I was like, I want this much. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. I'm like, I want all these meat sticks, okay? Put some jalapenos in there, maybe a little bit of cheese. Who knows?
Right.
We got all these different flavors and stuff, but
I make jerky at home. Yeah, I do. So I've got deer meat and like.
You do a smoker, or you do it in the oven?
I do it in the oven.
Dehydrator.
I do it in the oven, and I've done it 1 or 2 times successfully. And this last time I actually did it overnight, and I pulled a fucking rookie mistake, and I left it in for way too long. So I basically made crisps, like chips, out of it.
Yeah,
that turned into dog treats because I was like, I'm not gonna eat this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like making jerky because, like, I don't know, I got my deer, and I don't really like the taste of venison. Like, and I know from what I've been hearing, I'm just making it wrong because it's super gamey. Like I don't like the taste of the gamey meat. And so I've been told a couple different ways to go process it, like grind it up with like bacon or whatever, or cook it a certain way. So I got things I gotta try. I just haven't yet. But jerky's my go-to because, like, I don't know. It's good. It's hard. It should be hard to mess up, but I somehow found it.
Yeah, you can definitely combat some of that flavor with the right seasonings and marinating and stuff. When I make at home jerky, I do like a 3 or 4 day marinate of the meat. So it's like it's soaking in there, and I use a bunch of olive oil. And I usually make like spicy teriyaki, but it's a specific teriyaki sauce. I've tried a bunch.
Yeah.
And it's I could be pronouncing this wrong, so somebody correct me if you want, but Kikkoman's sodium-free teriyaki. Yeah. And not that I care about the sodium. I'm all about full sodium as well, but it's just the taste of it. The taste is better. And I put it in a big gallon bag, olive oil, Kikkoman's teriyaki. It's a lot more, it's like the consistency of soy sauce rather than like thicker and sugarier.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it just soaks in better. And then I do minced garlic, onion powder, red cayenne.
Yep.
And then I actually like thicker jerky. So I do about like a 1 inch by 1 inch by like 4 or 6 inch strip. So they're like of a
stick, basically.
Yeah, stick rather than like little flakes. And that it turns this like beautiful, like deep red color on the inside. and and then I put rock salt or Himalayan salt on top of it before I bake it, and that kind of crisps up on top. But it turned out pretty well, and it's super tasty.
How long do you bake it for? At what temperature?
I set my oven to as low as it can go, and
go until it's about right.
Yeah, I don't
Super
really know.
scientific.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of people who just kind of cook without following directions.
Yeah, well, I'm that guy
guess it's
too.
probably. I guess it'd probably be like 7 hours. Okay, just to throw random numbers out, give or take, probably 175 for like 6 or 7 hours.
Okay, yeah.
But another trick is to put a wooden spoon in the door of your oven to let air escape.
Yeah, I do that with a paper towel or a cloth towel, right? Roll it up and stick it in there and let it circulate. Because I'll do it with lemonade. I use lemonade, soy sauce. I do liquid smoke. Yep. And then a couple other things, including like the onion powder, and that tastes really good when you do it right. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, but that's nice and sweet. I do too. Top tier snack food. That is tier 1 snacks right there.
It is, and it's satisfying because, like, you know, when you kill the animal and you make it yourself, you process it right. It's like I'm a man. I'm a
man. Yeah. Do you see this facial hair? I'm a man.
Yeah, right. I haven't shaved since I was 12. No. Yeah, I'm hoping to go bear hunting. That's kind of on my hit list this year. Yeah, bear season starts in like 3 weeks, I think. So that's kind of.
I got something. I'll show you something cool. I know the viewers can't see it, so I will describe it. I'm going to my bookshelf. I got my main living room here. But this is a skull from a grizzly bear, and this thing is it's a little bit bigger than my head, actually, side by side, but the fangs on it are absolutely gnarly.
Where'd you get that?
It's mean. It was when I went on my moose hunt in 2018. My uncle got a black grizzly bear. That he actually got published for it due to its size, but it's he got the skull made, and he's got a handful of bears. And I'm not huge on trophy hunting. I'm more for meat hunting.
Right.
But my uncle is a trophy hunter. He enjoys it, so we'll let him be. But he said, I got too many bear skulls on my shelf. Do you want one? And I'm like, yeah, dude, for sure. And so he thought it was only appropriate to have the one on the hunt that I went on. That was like my first big hunt that I went on.
Yeah.
So it's pretty nostalgic and things like that. And then for those of you who want to dig through my Instagram, I have a Burt Reynolds picture of me on that bear rug as well with a scar. So you guys can go ahead and look for that one.
Or don't.
Maybe I'll send you that picture. It'll be the cover of this.
That would be good. I would do it. We'll roll with it.
I would say it's for the female viewers, but we both know it's for the male.
Yeah, that's fair.
Listeners.
Waistband. Yep. That's funny. I actually just got a new tent for hunting. My buddy, when we went last.
What'd you get?
It's a Katoma burrow.
Okay.
And I got it because, like, I wanted to be super lazy because, like, I've got my backpacking tent, and, like, I can pack it down really tight and everything, but I don't like how much effort it takes to, like, put it up and take it down. Like, as lazy as it sounds, this little tent has fiberglass, like, rods in it. And so when you pull it out, you basically just throw it and it goes and it pops open and it's like ready to go. Yeah. And I was like, that's perfect. So I found it on eBay for like $100. So I ordered that, and I still need to get the rain fly for it. But I was like, it's fucking cool. And it's a little 1-person tent. So I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, man, you've been doing a lot of off-roading, all your 2-track.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a couple more dents on the old Denali.
There you go.
And, I definitely need some armor. So if anybody's listening to this for the fab shop, I need rock sliders ASAP.
For what track? It's your Denali.
It's a GMC Sierra 1500 crew cab Denali short bed. And the aftermarket parts market for that is slim to none.
Yeah, I believe it.
I've been working with a couple companies to change that. I just signed on with ADS Racing Shocks out of Tucson.
Okay.
I have my coilover sitting right behind me, but I'm waiting on some upper control arms and a Deaver leaf pack for the suspension. But we've in 3 or 4 months, that truck is going to be completely different. It's going to be fully built out. I have like a room full of parts right now, and working real closely with Baja Designs. We've brought them on as a partner, and so Chase and I will have like 360-degree Baja lights.
That's cool.
And we've got some special stuff coming from them that we got to keep hush hush for right now.
Yep.
But we're gonna go on this overlanding trip, unlike something no one's done before yet in the space.
Yeah.
We had to get special equipment for it to capture this, but it'll be pretty cool once we get it done. And it's taken all over the place. But the main goal for the truck is to have that thing built out. I've got an alu cabin coming, which is like a full tent system for it, and back camper, super cool, super clutch, very slick. And I'm gonna take it to all the matches that I drive to. Basically, just have my truck on the range, dry camp. That way, I have everything with me, because I am a night owl and I don't like getting up early right now. That is how I live my life, and I'm not changing it for nobody. So if I can cut out 45 minutes of my morning from traveling to the hotel and doing all that stuff, I'd rather walk to my first stage of a match with a cup of coffee in my hand, or a mug of coffee in my hand, rather than a cup of coffee.
Yeah. And
just have everything there. Where like, shit, did I forget something at the hotel? Do I need to change my socks? Do I need my sunscreen? Do I need this or that? Everything's just packed in the truck, ready to go. And it's like an extension of my preparedness, or like it's my go rig, as Fieldcraft would say. And everything's going to just be dialed on that thing. I got a sailboat heater coming for it from GP Factor, Dickerson 9000. So I have a little chimney on the back for those cold nights. I don't know. When you talked to Chase, was that at the beginning of this year or end of last year?
End of last year. It's been a little while.
Okay. So we went on this badass New Year's trip.
Okay.
In northern Arizona. And we got to really push our trucks in the snow. My truck's name's Stacy. Stacy did pretty well. Better than I thought, but we got stuck a lot.
Yeah.
We were riding we got blizzards almost the whole time we were up there. So there was maybe about 6 to 8 inches of fresh powder with maybe like a foot or 2 foot pack underneath. So if you broke through that top layer, I'm just axled out every single time. Luckily, Chase's GX is fully built out, but we really got to experience what sleeping in the cold is like.
Oh yeah.
One of the nights was -5.
Yeah.
A lot of them were single digits. I was sleeping in the bed of the truck, and those things are not airtight. Got to learn that the hard way. But Chase, being the engineer that he is, designed probably the most badass vehicle tent heater thing that's in existence right now. He took 2 Zargis boxes, fully designed heater that plugs right into his tent. And we have a YouTube video, the whole DIY on it, on 2 Track Nation's YouTube. Yeah. Showing it, explaining it. There's definitely a lot of custom fab work involved, so just be wary, but it is very cool to check out because it is just a self-contained little thing in these 2 boxes on the side of his truck. And then we made a Y splitter, and then like we tried to hook it up to my truck. And if we didn't have that Y split going, I probably wouldn't have been able to withstand that trip with how cold it was. Because the one night when it got -5, we didn't put antifreeze in the diesel, or de-icer or whatever it is, and our gas lines froze. And I woke up with probably one of the most painful migraines I've experienced in my life from being cold. My face, I was in a sub-zero sleeping bag, but my face was still exposed. Right. My body was fine, but I had just immense pain on my face. What? Because I don't know how long the heater was off for, but I remember waking up at like 2 or 3 a.m. in just not even cold, but just pain. Yeah. And realizing like my face is just like numb. I'm like, fuck, this isn't good. And then we were getting spotty reception. I see a phone or a text from Chase being like, the heater shut off. And that's why I was like, fuck this, leave the back of my truck, half asleep, get into the driver's seat, turn it on and like warm up with the heat warmers and all that stuff. And just slept in the front seat. But there's a lot of lessons learned on that trip. I think that's really important when you're getting gear, because I didn't have my suspension ordered yet. I had some ideas of some other things I wanted for the truck, but I see a lot of people just going out, swiping their credit card, buying shit, cruising to the mall. And Chase and I, we encourage people to go use it. You know, it's there for a reason. It's designed for a reason. And you don't necessarily know what you want until you get to go experience it, where I was like, yeah, the heater sounds cool. Ordered it because it sounded cool, but I haven't camped in the winter time, but I knew we were camping. I knew we were going to have on this winter trip. And I am so thankful we went on it, because I'm going to appreciate that heater so much more now. Because you spend 5-6 nights in the cold like that, it's brutal.
Yeah. One thing, like winter camping. So like I love winter camping, but I also like I've got my redneck Ritz, which is, you know, fiberglassed and insulated on the back of my truck. So like I don't have canvas or anything. So it's a little bit more kind of inherently insulated. But like what I like, the thing that is most invaluable to me is actually a little heating pad that like runs just you can plug it into like a wall socket, right? Because I've got my inverter and everything, you know, solar panel, battery, inverter, and like I'll take a couple blankets and I'll sleep in the blankets, obviously a weighted blanket with a heated pad at my feet, and I am like on cloud nine. Like it is almost as good as sleeping at home. And that was something that like I had to learn, because like my thing isn't like airtight, but it's pretty dang good, right? But that
and that's the one you built,
pad,
right?
Yeah, that little heating pad is like the best thing ever. Or if you get like a heated blanket, but then obviously, right, you're like you're sucking battery life, but you've got a solar panel, so you kind of have to trade off.
Chase just linked up with Battleborn. He's gonna have like 300 amp hours in his truck.
Holy shit! Okay. So yeah, you're beginning
a lot.
Yeah,
he's doing an electric range stove in his truck.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I was actually gonna say, so with your truck for matches, you can actually build a portable reloading stand, right? Just that attaches into your hitch. Yeah, so that way you can slide it up.
I don't want to talk about it just yet. Yeah, but there is plans for something going in there, but it's actually going to be on the interior of it instead of the hitch.
Oh, okay, dude. There you go. So Pinterest, of all places, Pinterest has the best best ideas for stuff like that.
Yeah, and you know what? This idea actually came because I just fucking run out of ammo because we shoot it so much because we reload. Where like, I was at the last state match I shot. I got third place by like less. I got by like 2.2 seconds, and I got a procedural for 3 seconds. So I'm like super salty. But the whole week beforehand, I was in Utah shooting carbine and stuff like that. I was in the I helped set up, and I was part of the staff, so I was there all week with full access to a range. But I didn't have 9mm loaded, didn't have time to load 9mm, and didn't want to buy a 9mm because I had all the components, and I was just being stubborn. But in my mind, if I would have had that extra week of practice in there right before the match, probably would have been a little bit sharper, where that 3-second penalty wouldn't have mattered if I got it, whether I remembered that were targets or not. But I was like, and that was that right there, that finish was like, I was like, I need to have reloading equipment with me at all times. And I'm like, cabin's coming and stuff. So I'll save that for later on once the truck is built out and we hop back on here and talk about it. But obviously doing precision press and get some blue going in there. But it's I want a mobile reloading station, because like, or if I want to like change stuff, I don't know, you know, let's make a quiet round, whatever, or defensive rounds or hunting rounds. Want it right there, ready to go.
Dude, you could build out something sexy back there, all organized, neat.
I'm sure you've seen like some goose gear setups and stuff like that, where it's like very prim and proper. That is the look I'm going for. Whether I go with goose gear or not, that's up for debate. There's some other great companies out there that are doing great work, and I wanted something unique where it's focused on shooting and overlanding, because those are main thing is shooting. Overland is right behind it, but I need to have that space available for my firearms. Like I want to somehow figure out to basically make a whole workbench on the inside of it, where I can have a good area to work on guns. Like I want to put a vise in there. Like I want like a snap-on tool truck in the back of my
basically, dude.
Alley cabin.
I've seen pictures and videos of guys that actually have fold-down workbenches, right? So like you build it all
Mhm.
out that slides in with 2x4s, right? So it slides in, and then obviously you measure it so that it can latch up inside or up above to the side panel of your I guess your topper, right? And then
Yep.
when it folds down, right, you just clamp it back together, and it's like a full-on workbench, so you can
Yeah.
go sit in and get everything all built out. Yeah, some people are nuts with
So,
tiny spaces, dude.
yeah. And like, I like the idea of having one of those truck vaults in there, but the other part of me too is just like, that's a ton of extra weight to haul around. So those
Yeah.
things are like a few 100 pounds. I'm already adding, I think, uh, I'm just shooting off the hip here, maybe like 700 to 800 pounds of rolling around weight without like dry, without gear or anything like that. Those Deaver springs are going to help. I got those tuned for an extra, I think I said 1,000 or 1,200 pounds just to go a little bit over just in case.
Right.
But it's dope. And it's honestly, that is, I think that's like the closest thing you can get to like bushwhacking trails and exploring and kind of going on your own expedition of sorts, because like the campsites that we visit, they are so remote and desolate where I mean, such few people actually have been in that spot like over the course of a year, like a sign-in sheet. Like Chase went to this place in Utah. I think you talked about it on the podcast, but there was like 40 or 50 people that signed in for the entire year.
Yeah.
And it is some of the most gorgeous pieces of this country. And I want to see those. I want to explore them. I want to appreciate everything that this country has to offer, especially given some of the political climates and pop culture climates and stuff like that. When you get out to nature, you're like, I understand what's so special about this country. And to read Teddy Roosevelt Teddy Roosevelt's biography and stuff like that, you can hear about how all the national parks got created and stuff, and it is just absolutely spectacular.
Really, I'll have to listen to
just
it or read it.
Yeah, I used to read more, but not so much. I crush some audiobooks now when I'm on the road because I'm driving so much. I did 46,000 miles on my truck last year. But it's cool just to hear how the conservation got started. And that, I mean, honestly, if that didn't happen then, a lot of it would probably be developed or sold out or commercialized. I'm just thankful that it didn't, and we still have all these areas. Arizona's a great state, Utah, Colorado, everything out west. We've got some awesome pieces of geography that I say is needed to check out. There's some bucket list things like go stand on the edge of the Grand Canyon, or like the north rim of the Grand Canyon, where like Chase and I were literally like toes on the edge of the ones in Utah and stuff like that, Moab and so on and so forth. It's just spectacular. Like this is our backyard. We can experience it, and you can make a lot of memories on it and have some real fun experiences with friends as well.
Yeah, I like getting out and driving and getting a little lost.
Yeah. Little lost is great.
A lot of lost is not so great.
Yeah, as long as you got comms, you can get as lost as you want. And because like Chase has the InReach.
Yeah.
And since he got that, I'm with him. I'm like, I don't need it. He's got it. And we work with Midland Radios. They have GMRS radios, so we have like comm stations in our trucks. 50-watt radios, so they go pretty far. You can usually get a couple miles on flat, and then we did one test where Chase went up to Reddington's Pass, which is elevated on the south side of Tucson, and I drove on I-10 going north to Phoenix and see how far we could communicate to each other. We got like 37 miles.
Oh my god.
Which is like pretty nuts. We're like, it's a little crackly at 37, but if the conditions are clear and you have a clean line of sight from antenna to antenna, you can extend that range pretty far. And you can also use repeaters on it too. So like you can ping people in Milwaukee from Arizona. Wow. Might be able to ping you if we got enough repeaters in the right
area. Yeah.
Yep.
That's sweet. That's one thing I don't know a whole hell of a lot about is radios. Like it's like that almost feels like old black magic to me.
Yeah, when you get into the ham stuff, I'm not as well versed. GMRS is super easy. It reminds me of just like the handheld walkie-talkies that you're familiar to use. There's, just normal channels and then a number for the privacy channels. You don't need to worry about like some 9-digit frequency code or anything like that. And it's crystal clear. So we keep a couple handhelds in the truck if we have passengers and we're spotting. And then we can communicate. It's also very fun on road trips because you can talk shit back and forth real time. And you're off your phone. And plus you can feel like a trucker. You can make road names. Chase's truck is Booger Sugar because it's the white Lexus. So we figure it's fitting. We haven't got a solid one for Stacy yet. Trail Whale has been popular though because she's so big and scrapes everything. Big white trail whale. But so anyways, it's a lot of fun. Stay connected in there and honestly just get the vehicles where you can rely on them for a whole bunch of different things. Like I'm very surprised at the capability of this Sierra, and it's done a lot more obstacles than I think that it could handle. Although the rockers and the rear bumper definitely show that as well. It's all part of the game though. And so I'm going to Grand Junction the end of April.
Okay.
For a match. I think I'm going to camp around up there for a little bit. And then in July, I think we're planning on coming to Wyoming to do some overlanding.
Yeah.
And go north. I am very curious. I haven't gone that far north yet in my truck. I've hit Grand Junction before. I went to Wyoming once last year, but it was for my cousin and her boyfriend stuff. They're pro rodeoers, barrel racing, team roping and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a cool experience, and just I want to take everybody with me if I have enough space. And now I could comfortably have like 2 sleeping areas in my truck after I get the tent on there.
Yeah.
Or the cabin, because it's going to have a lower area and an upper area. And so I'm like, cool, I can bring friends. Not that the homies can't come and snuggle, but sometimes you just want your own space.
Yeah, right.
Like we could
-5 weather, snuggle weather.
Yeah, you got to stay warm for survival.
That's fair. Not too bad. That's it.
Mm-hmm. But it's a good mix, and there's a lot of cool stuff getting planned coming up.
Yeah. How often are you guys doing your YouTube videos now? I know at one point I think you were fixing for every 2 weeks. Something.
Oh yeah, that was wishful thinking.
Yeah.
We are. I think. I don't want to say we're behind, but we've just taken contracts with other media productions.
Sure.
Things like that. Like we got a product catalog. We got like some full blown like commercial productions or productions for commercials.
That's cool.
I guess it's still be commercial advertising. Anyways, but our schedule is just stacked up super busy. Me overscheduling, being on the road every weekend does not help either. We're getting back into it. We've got like 4 in the pipeline right now that we're chipping away at. So we're hoping to get back onto a regular schedule. I think we have 5 or 6 videos out right now. The diesel heater video is like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. And that's a lot of post-production.
That's a long time.
So like we needed to get that one out just to educate people. We talked about it a lot. But that's like the equivalent of like 5 or 6 videos right there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that took a long time to not only film but also just produce. But so we got some cool stuff coming. We just put a new light bar on my truck. Chase just got some new taillights and some little accent lights. And then we have our winter video from this trip in New Year's coming up. And that's going to be a 3-parter. We have like, I think over a terabyte of video footage.
Yeah, I believe
so
that.
We're a lot to scrub through. A lot of different cameras and stuff. We got a wide array of equipment that we use. So we should be seeing those coming up. We're trying to get through the winter video before it's too hot out, where a winter video doesn't make any sense.
Or just save it till it gets cold again.
Yeah, well, we'll probably release it just I don't know. I'm trying to think of when the projected due date, probably sometime in April though.
Yeah.
But we're pecking away at it and getting some other ones made. I'm getting up to speed on the production of Premiere Pro and getting the production side done, because that was a whole skill in itself of being able to do that because Chase just clicks around. He just knows it, you know, and I'm still,
Yeah, you're like, dude.
I'm producing in like analog, basically. I'm like, click here, copy this, press this letter. We're good. But I'm learning, and you got to start somewhere. Just like shooting, where like, you know, I didn't just pick up a gun and start winning matches, you know.
Yeah.
It all takes time, and it's just another skill that will be acquired. And once we get rocking and rolling, kind of getting pace, we'll we'll get back to our regular schedule of things. And
yeah,
we just like helping out other companies though. So if they approach us and it's a brand that we align with, and you know, it's helping fund some of these trips and projects on our trucks, and we're all for it. And that's part of what our plan was for this as well. But we want to educate people, entertain people, and just grow that overland community. And it's definitely growing as is, but with the production quality we're bringing to the table, it provides a very unique experience that not a lot of other overlanders capture.
Yeah.
And we want to stay on that high quality, high production level style of video, because it really captures the moment of the trip and what we're doing.
Yeah, that is one thing I love about your guys is about you guys is the quality, right? Like you can you can tell that you guys care about how it looks, how it's presented, what you see, how it's framed up. Like, I mean, when you look at it, you're like, that is a good shot. Like, that is a great picture, you know? It makes you feel good.
Regardless of overlanding or whatever the topic is, it's just like good cinematography.
100%. You know? Absolutely. Yeah.
And the real question, though, is when we're going to meet up in the flesh this year, we got to put something down. And I was thinking maybe come over to Wyoming when we're over there.
Yeah, that's actually not too far. Did you say May?
July.
Oh, dude,
last
July?
Weekend of July. It's also a USPSA match.
Oh, yeah.
With a company that you like, maybe a couple, but it's Vortex. Wait, hold on. Let me think about it. I think it's the Vortex Governor's Cup presented by Magpul, or it's the Magpul's Governor Cup presented by Vortex.
Okay.
One of those two. But it's Vortex, Magpul. It's 10 stages. Average round count is 40 rounds per stage, USPSA style. So we are going to lay down the fire hose and turn on the water.
Dude, I would have to call you and be like, hey, so I need a new press, and I need some powder, and I need some brass. That's a lot of ammo. Because like a normal USPSA match is like 150 rounds, maybe.
And I hit. There we go. I just stretched my arms and I beeped the button on the side of my headphones. So we're back.
Like,
but anyway, listen, Austin, you don't need to worry about the ammo. If you need ammo, I'll bring it to you. Okay.
Deal. All right.
Just to get you out there.
Look, I'm all for it, even if it's not in July or at the July one. I mean, I don't know what Arizona for me is.
Yeah, or meet us in Grand Junction.
Dude, that is actually doable. At the end of April.
Yeah, I think it's I'm shooting the weekend of 420 #Blaze It 360 no scope. And like the next few days after that, I think I'm gonna camp and then eventually go over to Fort Collins, see my cousin, and then go home.
Okay. Yeah, I'm writing it down because I'll have to look, so we're doing that. I was telling you about motorcycles. We're doing our motorcycle class the last weekend of April. So it's like that Saturday and Sunday. Like, is that the 31st and the 1st, I think? So I'll have to look because I just rescheduled that because we had it scheduled for mid-May, and I was like, I really don't want to wait that long. Like that's way too far ahead. Like I'm way too excited to go on a fucking motorcycle. So
that's 28, 29. I'll be in Grand Junction 19, 20, 21, 22, and then I was thinking like 22 night and maybe like 23, 24 camp, 25 FOCO, or maybe 24 FOCO. And then start cruising back down.
Okay, I'm looking up. I don't even know how far Grand Junction is from here.
Probably like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
10 minutes.
9.5 hours.
Skip and a jump away.
That's not bad.
9.5.
Yeah.
Let me see where the Magpul match is. I'm just curious. You're probably wicked far from Tucson then, dude.
Tucson, 17 hours.
Oh my goodness.
That's a long drive.
I mean, you might as well just fly in.
Yeah. Vegas. Okay, we drove to Vegas Evansville, 10.5, which again
Okay.
is that's not bad at all.
Yeah. It's the 2022 Magpul Wyoming's Governor's Match presented by Vortex Optics.
And that is the weekend, last weekend of July.
It is July 28 to 31. I believe it's a 2-day format. Presented by Vortex, 40 rounds. Let me see.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. I would dig that.
I'm looking forward to it. I just started working with Magpul, so I want to go represent them in some of the matches that they're hosting.
Oh yeah,
I think they have some Texas 3-gun ones coming up as well.
Nice. Yeah,
Magpul is like bread and butter of
everything.
Furniture. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I like exclusively use Magpul stuff. Like, I mean, I like their rubber grips and everything. I haven't used their gloves yet, though. I'd be curious to try their gloves.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been using their gloves lately around the ranges and stuff like that. Used them hunting, and they work pretty well. And digging, I had to do a lot of digging last week in the yard, and had the Magpul gloves on. They're not just tactical gloves; they're work gloves, ready to go. But it's good stuff. They're good people, and definitely like to align with like-minded brands, because there's some brands where I've said no to because of this, that, or the other, and I want to support brands that support me and support the things that I stand for,
Yeah. That's good. That's one thing that I'm, learned. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's nice to be around people that support you, and then, kind of you feel the same about them, which to your point is aligning without getting too far into the weeds on that train of thought. So
for sure.
But nice, man. Well, is there anything else you want to get out on recording at least?
Follow us on all social medias.
All of it.
Hit up 2Track Nation on YouTube, Instagram. It's a small page, but we're growing. We'll have some super badass stuff along the way. My personal, Hunter_Constantine. Chase's personal, Chase period in point, Chase and point. Follow the Vanguard Project on Instagram.
I do all sorts of random stuff.
Like, comment, subscribe down below. Send us your social security number, top 10 list of fears, your first street, or the name of the street you grew up on, your mother's maiden name, your first pet, your first best friend. All the security questions, comment down below.
Oh man.
Wait. Leave a review for this podcast. It helps out. We're reaching more people. You guys reviewing allows us to get boosted in the charts and have people find the Vanguard podcast.
Yeah, please leave a review and a rating. That it makes me feel good when I see a new one pop in. It makes me it makes me want to keep doing this. And
this podcast is brought to you by USDA Choice Beef and Shamrock Farms. Side note to Carson Herding. If this part even gets in here, we can edit this out, but it doesn't matter. This kid loves milk. We went to, or maybe actually just cut all of it out and then just cut back in right when I say this kid loves milk. We went to an Olive Garden and they brought him out a gallon of milk because he kept drinking so many glasses of it. That's 100%. He's a junior shooter. He eats like chicken nuggets, pizza, and milk, dude. So we're trying to get him a milk sponsor. So like Shamrock Farms, Fairlife,
Marigold,
whatever your local. Just this kid needs all the milk, and just Carson Herding. Check him out.
He's got some dense ass bones,
dude. He's probably got the strongest bones. I don't even know. Maybe you should go into karate or something. I don't know.
Wolverine, adamantium.
Yes, absolutely. Off the record though, that would be pretty funny if at post podcast and then it just cuts to that where like this kid loves milk.
I can do it.
Dude, definitely get a kick out of it. Maybe just pause right after, like we need to get him a milk sponsorship, and then it cuts out or something. But
yeah,
whatever it is, it'd be cool, man.
Deal. All right, I'll hit Hunter. Thank you again, man, for chatting with me. I enjoy our conversations, as romantic as that may sound. But I hope you all took something away from this. Maybe got excited about the Gundies, maybe trying something new, maybe getting into the pistol shoots or overlanding. Be sure to check their website out as well. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will catch you next time.